So I'm outside again with my 150 patio pond, I'm gonna call it, and doing another quick update. As you can see, it's kind of yellow. The fish are quite happy. It doesn't really matter to them what color the water is. So what had happened is because it's outside, I was getting some raccoons visiting each night, and each night they got more and more bold. They were opening the lid and trying to figure out how to get in. Since then, I've had to put this grate over and I put weights on top of it so they can't get in. But finally, about 4 or 5 days ago, they opened the whole thing up. They jumped inside, they knocked the fish food inside the water. So when I got here in the morning, it was just a disaster. There was a pound of food floating around. So I had to actually fish all the food out, and the water had started to turn cloudy. It was brown, there was food everywhere. I fished out as much as I could. And I hooked up a filter. You can kind of see all the tubes everywhere to try to get as much of the particulate matter out as I could. But the problem with food getting into the system is that it creates nitrogen spikes. So I was actually kind of happy that the water turned green. That means that the algae was taking care of all that excess nitrogen, which is good. I helped it along by adding in some micronutrients, and as you may know or remember, this tank has a bunch of duckweed, which is fantastic at soaking up all the ammonia. So I was pretty confident that I could get it before the fish had a problem, and goldfish are pretty tough and hardy. So it was just a matter of kind of getting out as much as I could as quickly as I could. So it's been 4 or 5 days. All that work has kind of paid off. The water's starting to clear up again. As you can see, it's still kind of a mess. It's still yellow. I'm not sure it's ever going to go crystal clear again. Once the water gets stained, you can't really fix that. But I'm happy I can see all the way through the tank. The fish are swimming around, eating up as much of this algae as possible. But so it's just kind of lesson learned. One of those things about having outdoor ponds and fish tanks and stuff is that if you have raccoons in the area, they will be drawn to it and try to figure out a way to get in. So once that clears up a little bit more, I'll pull out all these tubes and maybe rearrange it. I don't think I'm going to want to keep the filter the way it's set up. My next job on this is set up some kind of pond filtration instead of a canister filter. So this is an outdoor pond, not really an aquarium. A lot of the stuff they build for aquariums is not designed for outdoor use. Anyway, that's your update. My yellow fish tank, the fish are growing and nice and happy.